is invariably the input of man. So in that sense, hudud, insofar as it is from fiqh, cannot be said to be divine, because there is the input of man. Okay, so this is why I say, are we talking about implementing God's or man's? Next slide, please. Now, there are 6,000 over verses in the Quran. Today, I would like to focus on this because to me, this is of significance to me as a Muslim in trying to understand my duty. In Surah 16, verse 90, Allah says, Allah orders justice and good conduct and giving to relatives and forbids immorality and bad conduct and oppression. I want to focus on these two. Commands justice, forbids oppression. Let's go to the next slide. Now, when I was at the Chinese Assembly Hall in KL, at one of the earlier forums, I heard the past speaker, Hanifah Maidin, say, in Islam, it is imperative that the thief, man or woman, potong tangan. Wajib. Dia kata imperative. It is imperative in Islam, the thief, man or woman, potong tangan. Now, so, justice for the thief, from pastor's perspective is Surah 5, verse 38. The thief, male and the female, amputate their hands in recompense. Cut the hand. Memang is the verse. Tidak boleh dinafikan. For me, my focus is on justice by ending oppression. Kita diwajibkan menentang sebarang penindasan. We are obliged to fight oppression. For me, the justice for the thief, I look to Surah 40, verse 43. If it's not clear, let me read. Retribution for an evil act is an evil act, evil one like it. What they used to say, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But whoever forgives and rehabilitates, his reward is from God. Indeed, He does not like wrongdoers. God does not like wrongdoers. If one avenges himself after he has been wronged, there is no blame. So if you want an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, okay. Blame lies on those who oppress and terrorize the land unjustly. Those will have a painful punishment. But he who bears with patience and forgiveness surely complies with divine resolve. Jadi yang saya lihat, memang ada 538. Tapi di seluruh kitab suci Al-Quran, throughout the entire Al-Quran, I see God exhorting us to forgive, to forgive, to forgive. Now, past is always quoting 538. But see what God says immediately after 538, in 539. 538, God said, cut the hand. But in 539, God says, but whoever repents after his wrongdoing and reforms, indeed Allah will turn to him in forgiveness. Indeed, Allah is forgiving and merciful. Alright, this is immediately after the verse that says, potong tangan. God says, if he repents, forgive. Go to the next slide, please. So again, back to this. Past justice for the thief is amputate the head. God's justice is forgive. 539. Immediately after 538, the verse that past holds to, God says forgive. What do we have today? What do we have in our current system? If you steal, you may get sent to prison. Ideally, your prison system should reform and rehabilitate the offender so that he can be returned to society a more productive individual. Now, if you cut his hand, and then he says, saya sudah tobat, I have repented, you want to say tahniah, no hand already. You cannot shake his hand to say tahniah, congratulations, well done, welcome back to society. So God says, better to forgive. Now that is the Islam that I see. And it comes from the Quran. Until today, it has not been satisfactorily explained to me that the hudud from fiqh can displace the hudud of the Quran. I'm sorry, as a Muslim, to me, my concern is this. Muslims know this. Di akhirat, bukan pas jawab untuk saya. Saya jawab untuk diri saya sendiri. Jadi, I have a duty and an obligation as one who professes Islam to be satisfied for myself that the path that PAS is proposing tidak bercanggah dengan Islam yang diwajibkan untuk umat Islam. Now, Surah 16 verse 90 focus on two. God says, uphold justice and forbids oppression. Do we have oppression in our midst? Do we have oppression in this country, ladies and gentlemen? Can I hear from you? Yes. Ada, huh? Let me show you what I see as oppression. Next slide, please. In 1970, government statistics, 1970, 50% of the rakyat poor. Government statistics. 1973, Tun Abdul Razak melancarkan dasar ekonomi baru. Two objectives: eradicate poverty and to remove identification of race with vocation. Indians should not be seen as rubber tappers. Malays should not be seen as just farmers. Okay? DEB. 1974, Petronas created. What does this mean? Malaysia sudah jadi negara pengeluar petrol dan gas. 1974. 2014, if you apply a poverty line income of 1,005, kerajaan of course is giving some ridiculous figure of 863. 1,005 for a family of 4, 40% in this country are still poor. We have gas, we have petrol. Singapore tidak ada. We have balak, we have kelapa sawit, we have getah. Our water they buy, our sand they steal. But their people have a better standard of living. Tak kira kau. Tak kira kau. The Malays in Singapore earn better than the Malays here. Why? Is it not because 40% of our people are oppressed? Yes? No? Yes. Go to the next slide. My holy prophet Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the final sermon khutbah dia di Arafah dengan jelas menyatakan tiada kelebihan di antara Pak Arab dengan yang bukan Arab. Tiada kelebihan orang putih dengan yang berkulit hitam. Pendek kata, Islam tidak membenarkan perkawinan. There is no room for any race notion in Islam. Saya menunggu saat PAS bangkit untuk menentang racism di Malaysia. I wait for that day when PAS stands up and tells the Malays there are no special rights for Malays under the Constitution. Article 153 says special position. It does not create a right. It places a duty on His Majesty to strike a fine balance in the affirmative program. Allah says to fight oppression. Next slide, please. PAS announce program negara kebajikan, the welfare state. Please, this is what we need. I like what my friend from Sarawak said. Community programs. We need to end the plight of 40%. Forget about hudud, please. Bawa balik, get back on track your negara kebajikan. InsyaAllah, the rakyat will begin to see a better quality of life, which in itself is what Islam enjoins upon us. My friends, as I said, I could be wrong. Ini pahaman saya. Pahaman saya berdasarkan kepada bertahun-tahun membaca dengan harapan saya dapat memahami. So if I am wrong today, I am ready to be corrected. But in my understanding, the hudud of Allah has got nothing to do with punishment. That is a matter of jurisprudence, which is the work of men who are fallible. Thank you for listening.